Ferris State hockey defeats Northern Michigan 5-2. Coach Daniels, what are your initial thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, I thought, it was a pretty even game. I thought Noah Giesbrecht played very well in goal. Made a lot of good saves, some real timely stops. I thought we took entirely too many penalties again. Many, you're going to take some, but there was a number in the offensive zone, one in the neutral zone late in the game. So I thought we did take too many penalties. But I liked our compete. I liked our composure when we were down a man and he pulled the goalie. I thought, we've come a long way in 2 years where we were a mess at times a year ago when we were protecting a lead. We just hadn't won enough, and we seemed to be a little more comfortable in our own skin late in the game with the lead. So, all in all, I give the guys high marks for that. I thought from the net out we played very well. I thought Northern played well. I did. I thought, I wouldn't judge that game off a 5-2 score. That was, pretty darn even game, I thought.
As you mentioned before, it was a delay to the game, but you guys still managed to score 2 goals in that first period. How important was it for you guys to get off to that lead and kind of get the puck going?
Yeah, it was. That was important. The help because the mic was out here. Just you're referencing the hour late start and then getting off to a quick 2-goal lead. That was really important. We got down there, scored too quick. I thought was a good move, not because the goalie I wouldn't say was playing bad, but it's a good move by the coach because that kind of refocuses the team right there, and we've done that before. And I'm sure it's not an indication, because there was a lot of data on the goalie. It's more of a thing. Okay, let's get the guys playing in front of the goalie to play better. I'm guessing, but that settled things down for them. But for us to come out and get 2 with that long of a delay to start the game, that was big. It's much easier to play from in front than it is when you're chasing the game from behind.
How proud of you are you of your defense in that third period, especially under 2 minutes you guys were playing down 2 men on the power play, and they didn't score at all the entire period.
Yeah, no, I was really happy with our defense, and I thought a number of big block shots in that third period by our guys. I thought there was a couple really, really big blocks. 6 had one that comes to mind. 10 had one that comes to mind. And so, when guys are willing to do that and sell out, 3 had one earlier in the game. When they're willing to do that, that's contagious throughout the whole team, and that's winning hockey. And when you have a lead and you're willing to block shots, it's hard to come back against a team like that.
You guys have won 4 in a row now, and getting the sweep last week against Minnesota State. Do you feel as though those 2 wins last weekend really kind of inspired this team to say, you know what, we really can, we're a really good team. We really can beat one of the better teams in the league?
We certainly got confidence from last week, and no question. I think it would go back a week before even. We had a stinker of a game on Friday night when we got beat 6-0 by Bowling Green. It was one of those games where we fell behind 3-0, but in reality, we had played pretty well. It wasn't a 3-0 game, but then we didn't handle it well from there. For the last period and a half, I thought I was really disappointed in our pushback as a team. We may not win, but let's see if we can't just keep giving our all. And so the next night we bounced back, win 4-1, and I thought because that was a really good game from a start to finish that Saturday, maybe as good as we've played in a few years. And I thought we gained a lot of confidence from that win, carried to Minnesota State, and, there we played well as a team. I'm not going to try to, say it's something it's not, because a lot of that we leaned on our goalies pretty heavy against Minnesota State, and hey, they're part of the team too. But we did gain some confidence coming out of there, and then carried over to the night's game. What I liked is when we got back to work, we gave the guys Monday off because it's a long road trip last week. When we got back to work on Tuesday, the guys, it wasn't a group that was hooting and hollering. Like, they got right back to work and they worked really hard. And that's a sign of a team that's maturing. They're not overreacting to a couple wins. And that, all of a sudden you have a lousy week of practice, you can get run out of the rink pretty quick. So that was a really, I give our high marks to our leadership team on that.
Offensively, in these last recent games, you guys have kind of scored 3 to 5 goals today. How strong is that, going forward, being able to put that many goals on the other team, knowing that you guys have really 2 strong young goalies in there?
Yeah, I like our chances if we can get 5, but, I wouldn't say we're a high-octane team at all. We're a good team. We've got some good depth in our scoring. Our power play has been pretty solid all year long. But I think we're more built right now for probably a 3-2 kind of hockey. It's interesting, if you look back in the history here, recent history of us in Northern Michigan, it seems every game's 6-4, 7-5. I mean, this was, I was laughing with Grant before the game. We talked during the morning skate and kind of chuckled about how these games, when we play each other, it seems like you got two teams, all of a sudden the goals, I don't know what it is, but I thought about that partway through the game. I'm like, geez, here we go again. So,
Coach.
yeah.
See you again.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, intangibles.
Yeah.
You gotta be pretty happy with them selling out. Not only the block shots, but taking hits to make plays.
Yeah.
Are you like pretty optimistic about this team's chances based on the intangibles?
Well, I am optimistic on the team, but I'm also a realist in terms of what I'm watching and why I like the grit, the determination, and that we've got some areas we've got to improve upon. We need to spend more time in the offensive zone. We spend too much time in our own end of the rink, so we've got to keep working on sustaining play. It's too many times we've been relying a lot this year on trying to score off the rush, and then it's right out of their end. And in our league, there's a lot of teams that play a good half-court game, and they'll get it in, and they'll grind you in your own end, which isn't bad. It's going to happen, but we've got to be able to do that to them, too. We need to have life after the rush and some sustained play. So there's work to be done, and we're still trying to conquer the offensive zone penalties. The guy's first reaction is, hey, I want it back, a hook. No, use your feet, skate, get stick on puck. So we've got a ways to go, but I like the grit, the determination, the stick-to-itiveness of this group. So that'll carry you a long way with good goaltending. But now we've got to make improvements if we want to be, we want to push towards the top half of college hockey. Dare I say maybe even top 20 if we can. That's the goal of every team, and so we've got a ways to go to get there.
Last question. They say winning can be habitual and losing can be habitual. You had a nightmare season 2 years ago where losing was a habit. Looks like you're in the habit of winning right now.
Tim, you're exactly right, and I think you and I discussed it that year, 2 years ago, when, God, there was times too we would have leads late, and we just didn't know how to finish off the games, and we're learning how to do that. And, a lot of our success now, though, it kind of came out of the ashes of that season. I really liked that team that year. They never gave up any practice. Like, our practice habit started that year in a losing year. It's kind of crazy. But was that kind of stick-to-itiveness that season where we were, it was a COVID year, too, and so the whole thing was tough on everybody. But I think our stick-to-itiveness in practice and not losing the group, and they always worked hard on the rink and in the weight room, kind of led to last year where it was a minor bump in the right direction. We go to 11 wins now this year. So it's not, when you see the results, you think, oh, they turned it around quick. No, we didn't. This has been a couple-year process. But I feel like we're on the right track. But winning is contagious, but if we want to keep winning, we've got to improve. There's areas of improvement there.